it's and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video. And today we have a custom bullet journal order setup for the month of December, and this one was a custom journal in French. So if you see things that you could consider grammar errors, it's not the case. It's only because it's written in French, so just a heads up for that. And as always, if you want to see the close-ups of any of the spreads, they will be at the end of the video on the time written on the screen right now. So this journal is Leutrum 1917 journal, and it's a little smaller than the normal journals that I use, so I had to adjust some of the spreads that I will be doing. But basically this is the month of December, and the theme that was chosen is aliens, or just space creatures. It was a very fun theme to do. The color scheme is like yellow and greenish and some gray. It was very fun to do because I would have never done that for myself, so I had a really fun time actually making it. And this was of course for someone else, so it's not in my personal journal. But for the cover page, I basically did a little ovni flying with an alien in it saying hi, and the light is shining onto the word December in French, and at the bottom I just added a tiny calendar because I always feel like those are the cutest spread when they have the small little calendar. And then we are already onto the monthly calendar, and I went for a very simple setup. Like, everything is pretty easy to remake if you're interested in anything beginner friendly, except maybe like the calligraphy. Everything that I do in those journals are very easy to redo, just because it's she asked for a little less of drawing and stuff, and there's also less trackers and stuff like that. So that's like a basic bullet journal that anyone could do. And I just did a box layout, which means that I have a column for each days of the week and a line for each week of the month. And I basically just wrote December in the left corner and added some spaceships and aliens here and there. Also, I did not mention this, but this specific journal was made throughout the summer, and this is why the actual camera angle is really different from everything I usually do. And that's because I was in the hospital as I was filming those setup. I got hospitalized 2 weeks during the summer, and thankfully I had a lot of time to work. It was only for rehabilitation purposes. If you're new to my channel, you may not know that I am paralyzed due to a neurological condition, which means that I am paralyzed and it is not permanent, so I have chances of getting back and getting better. So I had to work a lot of that during the summer holidays because I am a high school student and I did not have a lot of time outside of classes. So I went there for 2 weeks. It's a special program, and I basically worked my butt off for 2 weeks, and I had this journal for classmates that I was doing, and I needed it to be done by the end of the summer, so I didn't have any other choice but to actually record those videos while I was away. So I had to do with what I had, but I'm still kind of proud of how the videos turned out because honestly If you haven't watched any of the vlogs that I made there, I highly encourage you to watch those because I didn't really have a lot to work with, so it was kind of hectic. But back to the actual spreads, I used my Tombow dual brush markers to color in everything, and I didn't use that many shades. If I can find them again, I will put them on the screen if you're interested, but I basically just use a few shades just to keep a colorful but still cohesive color scheme throughout all the spreads. I also used my Faber Castel Pitt artist pens to do the line work and my micro Uniball markers and micro size to do the lines for like the calendars, and it was a lot to do, I'm not gonna lie. And I have a lot of those markers, but they are with, they don't have very sturdy tips for the Pitt artist ones, so when I was doing all of those, my marker was dead because I used one specific size, which is the S, and to do those little calendars that you can see there, it was dead because of the ruler. Everything was perfectly dead. I had to buy a new one after doing this journal because it was not working anymore. So that's just a little fun story. It's not made for that. It's made for doing line work without a ruler, so just heads up if you want to use those markers. They're not very good for that. I would recommend using the Uniball markers because they have ball tip, which means that they are just like a metal tip with a ball at the bottom to distribute the ink, so they do not break, contrary to those markers. So that's what I learned doing this. Now I know that I need to use those, and then that's what I do with my own journals now. But basically this is the habit tracker that I was asked to do. We called it a daily checkup, and it's basically just 5 boxes with it's baby calendars basically, one for each day, and then I have 5 for 5 habits, and I just decorated it with a spaceship and a little alien head, which looks kind of weird, but honestly it tied it up really well with the whole setup, so I was kind of proud. And that's pretty much it. It was really simple to do, so I did not spend a lot of time on that one. And then we are already onto the mood tracker, which was actually pretty simple to do. I just did a spaceship with a light going down from it to put the keys and all the moods. And all around it, I just did alien heads. I'm pretty sure I did 32 instead of 31. I messed that up, but that's not a big deal because you just can color it in later on. But I just did all of those heads, which I'm sorry, you have my hand in the way. That's not really professional, and I did what I could. But I just did different size heads, and then you will see me coloring all the eyes for each one of them, just so that it looks like an actual head and not just like some sort of weird strawberry. But I just did that, and it took me not too long, surprisingly, compared to the actual size of the spread and the numbers that I had to do. It didn't take me very long at all. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for that spread. I don't really have anything else to say about it, but just for a fun fact, because I don't think there's a lot of my subscribers that can actually speak French, because most of my audience is from the United States. So hi to everyone watching. But basically, what is at the top of the page, instead of mood tracker, we put mon humeur, which means my mood, basically in French. So I just wanted to translate it just because I think it's a little easier when you cannot understand what it is written on this page to be able to actually still understand. And key is clé in French, so that's what's written in the yellow part that I'm currently coloring it right now. I'm sorry, I have some trouble speaking today. It's my second voiceover in a row, so my mouth is getting tired of speaking so much. But if you have any idea of anything you would want me to talk about in those voiceovers, please let me know in the comments. I would love to respond to questions or anything else that you may want to ask me. And the last thing I did for this spread is to add all the numbers, and that's when I realized that I put one too many, but that's okay. I'm really bad at calculating. I have dyslexia, and sometimes I just skip one without realizing it, but that's okay. And next we have the playlist of the month, and playlist is actually the same word in French, so that's just a fun fact. If you want to learn French with me watching bullet journal videos, you can watch and learn a few words if you want to. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I will have a dedicated playlist to each one of those custom bullet journal setups. I already have it if I'm correct, and I will put it in the little E up there if you are interested in seeing any of those. And all the material that I am using, all the supplies, will be listed down below, but I basically got them all from Amazon, so... And I also have a complete unboxing of my Tombow markers if you're also interested in that. I'm just doing a little bit of self-promo here, but for the playlist, it's really just a really easy spread to do, and it's really fun to fill it. There's just only 4 songs on this one, so there's just like a little memory from the month. Fun to look at like a year later. Also, this journal is for a complete year, so that's why I always talk about like complete years. It's because this setup, this whole journal is for a complete year from August up to July for the next year. So it was a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but I love doing it. And the next one is normally gonna be up at the end of the month. If I'm not sure, but I think it's gonna be up by the end of the month. So if you want to see that and you don't want to miss it, because I don't know exactly when it's gonna be up, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you are notified whenever I post. And I just realized that I talked through and not even explained the first weekly spread that I did, but it's basically just lines that I did, and I just added a column on the side for the event of the week, and that's just a really simple spread that I do a lot on my own journal. So sorry if I didn't really explain what I did, but I'm gonna explain this one, which is one of my new favorite layout. I discovered it as I was searching for ideas to try and switch things up for this journal, and I found this layout, which is 2 columns on each side for 3 days of the week, and then actually each page is separated into 2, and the outer side is for 3 days, and then on the inner side I have at the bottom for 1 day on each page, and at the top I have a little calendar and a few decors. I just thought this spread just has so much space to actually write in it. It's completely crazy. and I just decided to like draw a little alien getting abducted from a spaceship, and it's really funny and I just think it looks really cool. But I basically just did a spaceship, a little alien, a calendar, but I am gonna be using this actual setup for one of mine, actually I think for November, and I think it's the video that will go up after this one. So if you want to go check that out, my theme for November is books and it just looks amazing. So if you want to go check that out, it will be up on my channel I think tomorrow at the time if you watch this day it comes on. So we are already onto the third weekly spread, and I'm sorry if they go really fast, but I had to fit about 10 spreads into less than a 20-minute video, so I did my best. I tried really hard to fit everything into it. But this layout is a really fun one that I like to do because it's just little boxes basically. I just have 4 on each side, 3 on the right side, and a section at the bottom for any school related stuff because we are both high school students, so it's classmates of mine that actually got this journal. But I basically also had added a calendar on the left side just because I think it's really easy to lose track on where we are in the month and to see what there is next. So that's why I always do my little mini calendars, and on each side of the boxes that I made I just added some little doodles, just like the other ones that I did throughout all the spreads. I honestly ran out of other ideas of what to do because it's kind of untypical as like a theme, so I did with what I had and that's what came out of it. So I'm actually pretty proud. It looks really cute and I never done that kind of thing before. I was really surprised when she asked me for that for December because I was more anticipating like Christmas or like winter or stuff like that. So I was actually really excited to do something that I don't think I would ever do in my own journal. So I was really excited when this theme came up. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. I think I'm kind of rambling on at this point because this video is actually quite long and at some point I really don't know what to talk about, but I wanted to thank you guys so much because I have reached if I'm not mistaken 100 subscribers. I don't know exactly when this video will come up, but thank you guys so much. It's the end of the video. There's only the close-ups left, so I will let you guys with this. But first, I wanted to say thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.